Welcome to our February CNEC monthly meeting. This is our monthly meeting, but it's a business meeting that we normally would have at AAN, but we're doing the business meetings ahead of time of the annual meeting. So I just want to welcome everyone. I'm excited to see so many people on. It looks like we have 56 people already. So I'm super happy to see that many people here on a gray Tuesday. Oh, it's Wednesday. It's gray and rainy here in North Carolina. So I just want to introduce Laura and Peggy and Lucy. So Laura is at University of Michigan, and she has jumped right in as the chair-elect. And we've had many meetings. It's been great working with her so far. And of course, Peggy is here as our past chair. So happy to see Peggy again. And Lucy from AAN. And she also has Katie working with her, who's a contract worker. So we're thankful to have Katie supporting Lucy during this challenging time of Lucy's without her staff and trying to do all things annual meeting and education. So does Laura or Peggy or Lucy have anything that they would like to say?
Welcome, everybody. It's nice to see you all.
Okay, well, we're hoping to give some more detailed information today about the annual meeting. We're going to do our award presentations. We're going to have a quick, I'm frozen again on my internet. We're going to have a debrief and hopefully a brief communications work group update. So I think I'll go ahead and get started with the coordinator recognition awards, unless Lucy has something else she wants to start with.
I think we can go ahead and get started. Katie, do you want to share the slide?
Okay, and go ahead, Katie, and advance to our award slide. There we go. So we have 3 coordinator awards that we're going to give out this year. I believe it was last week or 2 weeks ago, we had the CNPD business meeting, and our coordinators were recognized at that meeting. Normally we would recognize the award winners at the annual meeting, but we're doing that ahead of time since this is our business meeting. So I'm just going to read a few accolades about each of our award winners. And I'm just going to start with Janice. Janice's award recognizes her outstanding program coordinator skills. Her leadership, extensive knowledge of graduate medical education, and mentorship are just a few of the many reasons for the success of her program. As a founding member of her department's DEI committee and her commitment to DEI, it is evident that she has made a measurable impact within her program. This award is attestation that she is fundamental to the success of her program and crucial in ensuring the future of neurology. So we could all congratulate Janice. She's at New York Presbyterian. Congratulations, Janice. Our next award winner is Tina Linder, and she is at the University of Connecticut. And these are some accolades that were submitted for Christina, or she goes by Tina. This award recognizes the outstanding program coordinator skills of Tina Linder. Tina plays an integral role to the success of her program. Her compassion and advocacy to her program's trainees' well-being, education, and accomplishments truly exemplifies one of the many core values of this award. Tina also provides comprehensive knowledge in graduate medical education and demonstrates exceptional communication and organizational skills. This award is confirmation that Tina is essential to the success of her program and influential to ensuring the future of neurology. So congratulations to Tina. She's at the University of Connecticut, and we're just thrilled that you've also won this award. And last but not least is Erides Diaz. She is at New York University at Langone. And I have a few things to read about Erides. This award recognizes the outstanding program coordinator skills of Erides Diaz. Erides possesses an in-depth knowledge of graduate medical education and excels in the day-to-day management of a residency program and demonstrates excellent communication and interpersonal skills. It also recognizes Erides for her developed and implemented innovative projects to improve GME within her program. This award is confirmation that she is fundamental to the success of her program and crucial in ensuring the future of neurology. So congratulations to all of our award winners. I'm seeing tons of congrats in the chat, and they're all well-deserved. So congratulations, ladies. Okay, Lucy, do you want to take over and talk about annual meeting programming?
Katie, if you can go to the next slide, please, or next 2 slides rather. So I just wanted to take some time just to talk through what our programming looks like for the annual meeting and highlight a few things. And we're going to have a poll that we're going to share with you here in a few minutes to get some feedback from you. So Katie can advance here.
Sorry, my computer's freezing up.
Okay. Here we go. So as far as the meeting, as you know, we have the Seattle meeting, which is April 2nd to the 7th in Seattle. And we have a virtual annual meeting, which is a completely separate offering on the 24th to the 26th. And so the programming in Seattle and the virtual meeting on the 24th and 26th are completely different programming, completely different speakers. For the virtual meeting on the 24th to the 26th, we currently don't have any programs for coordinators. So we just wanted to make sure that you were aware of that and clarified that. For the Seattle meeting, you are able to attend in person or attend remotely to view the offerings at the Seattle meeting. Just giving you the deadline for the the advanced registration, which is March 17th. And I thought I'd just throw in what the vaccination and mask requirements are for a meeting as they stand currently. As far as I think you wanted me to launch the poll now here, correct, Chris?
Yes. Yeah. And we also need to know, not in our poll, but we need to know if you've registered for the virtual programming, the virtual meeting from the 24th to the 26th. If you are on here today and you've registered for the virtual meeting, please let us know. There's no distinction for us to tell on the registration list if people have registered for the in-person in Seattle or the virtual meeting. So if you have registered for the virtual meeting, can you please put your info in the chat?
All right.
And then Lucy's going to share the poll.
Yep. So there are 2 questions here that's in the poll. The first one being identify your role. Are you a clerkship coordinator, program coordinator, which is residency and fellowship, or do you have another role? And are you attending the meeting? Are you attending in person in Seattle? Are you attending virtually in Seattle? Or are you not attending at all? We still have a few more answering here, so I'll give it about a minute here.
Lucy, I think it might be beneficial to sort of explain a little bit more about the virtual attendance and the remote. It looks like there's some question in the chat box.
Sure, just 1 second here. Let's, I think I'm gonna close the poll now, Chris. I think everybody has answered, so let me close that. And then let's share the results. Are you able to see the results on your screen?
Yes.
Okay.
So did anybody else sign up as a clerkship coordinator besides me? I couldn't sign up as both. If you did, can you put that in the chat? Sorry about that. We didn't have a place for both. Okay, so it looks like what we surmised from our registration list that Lucy gave us yesterday, the most recent one, is that the majority of folks are program coordinators, which were, I have 21 folks who I know are program coordinators based on looking them up on the Facebook page and in the member directory. And there's a couple people who I think may not be registered. If you haven't registered already, please go ahead and get registered, just so we can make sure that we send you all of the information. We're putting a packet together with lots of details that we want to send out to all the attendees. And then so Lucy, that
So why don't I stop sharing this now, Chris?
yeah.
And then I
So
can address some of the questions in the chat.
yeah, a couple of questions here.
Okay. 1 second here. Okay. So let me just scroll up here for a second. So Anne is registered for the in-person, but had to switch to virtual. So again, you're registered for the Seattle meeting, Anne, but you're now attending remotely. Is that correct? Because again, the virtual meeting on the 24th to the 26th does not have programming for coordinators.
So I think Anne probably just needs to switch back over to the in-person, but attend remotely.
I think that's what I'm understanding she's saying, but I'm just looking for clarification. So as far as again, the Seattle meeting on the 2nd to the 7th, you can attend that meeting in person or you can attend remotely. How you attend remotely or how you view the programming live, it would be through the meeting app. The only drawback with that is that you're not able to interact. So you can't ask questions. You're just able to view the live recording through the app. Otherwise, you're able to view it in our on-demand online portion of it. I think it's 24 hours after, just because they need to get it edited and through that portal. And so you're able to see it that way up until May. It would be the deadline you have access to that information.
I have a question. Is it too late to switch back to the in-person remote? I didn't know about the remote option.
So once you're registered for the Seattle meeting, there's no switching back. You don't need to say, I'm going to be viewing remotely or I'm coming in person. The only thing you need to be aware of if you're coming in person, obviously you need to make your travel arrangements to do that, to come to the meeting. So you have your own hotel solidified.
No,
Otherwise,
I'm sorry. I thought the deadline to switch from in-person to virtual, I did not know about the remote option. So I had to switch back to virtual last week, and I thought last week was the deadline to make that choice. So is it too late to switch back?
okay, so what I'm saying is there's 2 meetings here. The Seattle meeting, which is the 2nd to the 7th, which you can attend in person or you can attend remotely. Once you register for that, you don't need to distinguish how you're participating in that meeting for those days. The virtual meeting on the 24th to the 26th, completely different meeting with no programming for coordinators. So you want to make sure that you did not register for the virtual annual meeting on the 24th to the 26th.
Anne was originally scheduled for in-person, but then she had to change to the virtual, it sounds like. she and I had an email exchange about this. So I think maybe she just needs to call membership or registration services and confirm exactly how she's registered and make sure that she's registered for the in-person instead of virtual, since now we understand how this is working.
Correct. And just make sure you register for the meeting that you're going to be viewing. Again, the virtual 24th to the 26th has no programming for coordinators.
Lucy,
Sorry, thank you for that clarification. I'll call them.
Okay.
Lucy, this is Sylvia Eaton. Is it possible to present the poster, the Monday poster somewhat virtually?
No, that's just an in-person event. There's no virtual offering to present at the reception virtually.
Thank you. And any other presentation, if some of us are presenting, there is only in-person option for those.
Only in person, correct.
Thank you.
I don't know if I'm scrolling through the chat here, Chris. If there's anybody else has a question, if you want to unmute, I think it'd be faster and I can answer quicker that way.
Hi, Lucy. This is Lisa. Our program, we completed the Google form to request to present a poster for our program late. Do you know if we would still be able to present a poster?
Yeah. So I extended the deadline actually to this Friday, and when I have a slide here for that reception. So I will put the Google link in the chat here in a few minutes, but you have until this Friday to submit for a request to have a poster at that event.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Lucy. This is Rob from Florida Atlantic University. I just wanted to check on for the Monday night poster recruiting fair. We just have room for a poster. There's not a table provided to put stuff out on. Is that right?
There is a table. So we provide us the 4x6 poster board, which you don't have to have a poster. You can just use the board however you wish. Underneath, there's a table that you have that you can put handouts on.
Great. And are we allowed to bring, because we don't have a banner that would identify us as Florida Atlantic to put on the poster, but our College of Medicine has one of those pull-up, pop-up banners. Can we bring something like that? Are we allowed to have something like that with us?
As long as it can be within that space, the 4x6 poster board. And, if you don't need the table, we can, I'm not sure. It depends on what kind of equipment they have as far as tables. Sometimes they put a bigger table and it's shared on both, the front end and the back end. Right. So otherwise you can push the table to the other side of the poster if they're okay with that, or we can remove your table and you just have your pop-up. So if you can work within that space, that's certainly fine.
Perfect. Great. All right. Thank you very much.
Yep. And we can take some additional questions as we go through here, because I do have some slides on some other programming, Chris. So, folks, if, towards the end, if we still have questions about the virtual in-person meeting, we're happy to take those at the end.
Lucy, can you give the name of the convention center that it's being held at?
The Seattle Convention Center?
The Seattle Convention Center, okay.
Yep. So why don't I move ahead, Chris, with the other updates, and then we can circle back if there's additional questions.
Good.
Okay, Katie, do you want to keep going on the slides, please? So as far as programming, we have, you've heard about the Neuro Training Educator Junction. This is the space where we're going to have our coordinator programming presented at the meeting. This is a new area for us this year, a new space that we have. I'm not sure how it's going to shake out for the upcoming meetings, but at least this year we have a dedicated space and a floor for us to do programming. As we talked about the training and faculty reception, which is on Monday, we have our sign meeting, and then we have our medical student symposium. So I'll go into a little more detail about these in the next slides. Next slide, Katie. So this is the training and educator junction. I threw in a floor map so you could see what it looks like. Towards the right of the space, again, this is one floor. So where it says area 3 and 4 are where we have our stages. So we have 2 rooms that are set up to have presentations. Coordinator programming is going to be in one or both of these places, depending on our schedule. The bottom right, where you see the numbers 1 through 6, is going to be our one-on-one mentoring areas. So we're going to have a space for our trainees to be mentored by our educators that are in the space. We have a Twitter feed wall that helps do with engagement and just folks going to see and participate in some live as well as interactive Twitter offerings that we have. We're going to have food and beverage in the space, which is nice. We have a selfie wall or a spot that we're going to folks can take some photos if they like. Throughout the space, just in general, we're going to have seating so you can come and sit, have one-on-one conversations, have some small group conversations. We're going to have ability to charge your laptop, your device there while you're sitting there. But it's just a space for you to network with each other, to connect with other trainees or educators and coordinators in this space. As far as general programming, we have panel sessions, which are 60 minutes. We're calling them Ed Talks, which are about 30 minutes. And then we have some trivia or games that we're going to have on the various days of the meeting. Next slide. The trainee and faculty reception, I'll place the Google form link here in a second in the chat. On the website, I currently have the programs that when I did this, I think it was last Friday, the programs that are currently signed up, so you can at least see if your program is listed there. I will be sending notifications probably next week, confirming programs and assigning you your poster number or numbers. Again, programs can have up to 2 posters. We'd like, if you have, for example, a program has residency and fellowship information, you can have 1 poster for residency, 1 poster for fellowship. You know, however you'd like to utilize those posters, but just information really, or what our trainees can find valuable. So again, Monday night from 6 to 8, this is in the Hyatt Regency Ballroom. So it's not in the convention center. It's a short walk. The hotel is right, a couple blocks up. Again, you're able to present. You don't necessarily have to have a poster, but there is a poster board that you can utilize to put whatever information you'd like on there. And as I mentioned, a table to put your handouts. Next slide. Our SIGN meeting, this is our student interest group in neurology. We have this, their kind of business meeting from 1 to 2, and this is going to be in the trainee junction. It's an opportunity for students to see and understand what SIGN is about and understand how they can have a chapter if they so choose at their schools. Next slide. Our medical student symposium. This is our 4th year, I think, in person that we're doing this. This is a way really we're trying to connect mostly M1s and M2s, but it is open to all medical students that attend the meeting. We offer these folks a scholarship to come. So we have 41 students that have received the scholarship for this year. You can see just a high level overview of what the program looks like. So please, if you can encourage your students to sign up, I'll put the link in this also that's on the website. So you can provide them with an RSVP link to sign up to be part of the symposium. Next slide. I just wanted to highlight a few programmings that might be of interest to you or your educators. And so most of you do attend the CDPD conference, which is on Saturdays. So I put the information here so you can add that to your schedule. And then there is a faculty development course that you might find of interest if you'd like to attend, but also your educators, I think, would find this of value. So with that, Chris, I think we'll hand it over to you.
Okay. Thanks, Lucy. You saw that she Lucy had on her slide the Saturday morning clerkship and program director workshop, and that is part of our programming for coordinators. So all coordinators are welcome to attend, encouraged to attend that workshop. That's going to be the first event that we have in our programming for coordinators. We have a plea, a request. We're reaching out, whatever you want to say. Go ahead and go to the next slide, please, Katie. We have a bunch of sessions planned, and we have leaders, speakers, co-leaders signed up for many sessions, but we do still have some sessions that we would love to offer. So I'm going to just give you a brief overview. You can see the list here. The first session that we really would love to have a couple people to sign up for. This will be more of a panel discussion. It's going to talk about coordinator roles, time management, and best practices. And we'd love to have a clerkship and program coordinator, an education manager, different roles in your institution. So if you are someone who would like to be on a panel on Saturday, this will be after lunch. please reach out to us. And we have one or two folks already signed up, but it would be great if we could have 2 or 3 more.
Chris, could I just interject here?
Yes, please go ahead, Peggy.
So we don't expect anybody that participates to be like, I'm the expert on it.
Right.
I mean, the value of every session that I've ever presented, I've taken away something from someone else. So it's literally about a joint interaction and learning from each other. So don't expect, oh, I can't speak because I can't, I'm not an expert on it. So encourage you to just bring what you know and you learn from other people. And that's the way I always, when I geared my sessions, was I took more back than I gave away, it seemed like. So that's my blatant plug.
Yes, that's, thank you, Peggy. We want this to be a sharing session for sure. So that's one of our sessions we need some help with. And then another session is just a 30-minute session on burnout that we'd like to have. And again, you don't have to be an expert on mental health, but we'd love for someone to share ways that they advocate for themselves and their trainees, and share ideas that could be helpful to other coordinators. Again, we need someone on Monday morning for a couple of sessions on just to lead a session on career advancement, professional development topics. If you are TAGME certified, we'd love for you to share your story about how you went through that, tips and tricks that you have for that. And again, it can be a couple people who want to lead this session and share opportunities for professional development for clerkship coordinators and program coordinators. And then, of course, a topic that we all are dealing with still is just virtual recruitment, overcoming challenges during the pandemic. And this is just sort of meant to look back on what you guys have done over the past 2 years, how we've all handled virtual recruitment, how we've adjusted, sharing what your institution has done to create inviting virtual interview days. I know I'm in the thick of fellowship recruitment, so we're always trying to create inviting virtual interview days. The APE is another topic that if you're a new coordinator, you may not understand what the annual program evaluation is all about. And just if someone would like to lead a session on just understanding the process and best practices, how you work with your PD on submitting your APE, etc. CCC and web ads, pretty self-explanatory, sharing what the importance of the CCC meetings are about as they relate to entering your milestones and web ads. And then last but not least, we want to have some speed mentoring sessions. So again, this is just sharing in quick little sessions. We'll either do like a rotating table format, or we'll have the topics up on the screen and people can jump up and talk about different topics like onboarding or orientation or surveys, evaluations, grading for students. This would be a combined session with clerkship and program coordinators. So we just want people to be willing to share. And again, it doesn't take any major preparation. It's just sharing your knowledge with everyone else. So Lucy, we need to have people signed up by Friday, is that correct? For our sessions?
Yes, if we can have folks signed up to present, that would be ideal. Our final deadline to have everything in the app, show up on the website is the end of next week. So by Friday would be helpful so we can get it entered into the system.
And Laura and or Peggy and I are happy to help anyone that needs help with a session on any of these particular topics. So if you are interested, please reach out to us either in the chat or send us an email. Our email is there. I will put it on the Facebook pages as well later today.
This is Sylvia Eaton. I signed up for virtual recruitment and I would like to know if there is somebody else so we can do it together. Let me know, please. Thanks.
Thank you, Sylvia. Someone please sign up with Sylvia.
I don't know if Samantha's on. She had expressed interest, but she was waiting to confirm her details. So,
Okay, Rob, yes. Can we send out the list of sessions you need help and presenters for? Yes, I'm going to post that on the Facebook pages, and I will send out, Rob, I will forward you the email. Yay, Mark wants to sign up for virtual recruitment. Wonderful. I'm so happy to see this, you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We will get an email out and I will post it on the Facebook pages again. Okay, let's see. Any other questions that you guys have about the annual meeting? Angela, the program is, there are two options. You can sign up for Seattle in person and either attend in person or remotely. And if you attend remotely, you would access the programming through the AAN app. You aren't able to interact during the session, but that is one way to attend and participate in the programmer coordinator programming. The virtual meeting that's later in April does not have any program coordinator programming. The Facebook page is, our group is, I believe it's neurology. We have two of them. We'll look that up, or maybe Peggy or Laura, you can look that up real quickly and post it in the chat.
Yeah, I
If you're
just
not a member of our Facebook groups, there's one for clerkship coordinators and one for program coordinators. Please join. Laura's going to put that in here in the chat. Is there a link? We need to get a link, but we need to finalize our session leaders and speakers before we send out the.
so Chris, Katie, if you can go to the next slide, I threw in here some information. I'll put the link in the chat here. So the sessions that have been entered into our system does show up on the website, and then thus will then show up in our meeting app once we launch that. So this is just an example. So when you're on this page, and again, I'll put the link in a second, you are able to filter and search as, by many options. I would encourage you to search as far as the search type, to click those three: program, ICW, or event, so that you can and put in the keyword coordinator, so that programming pops up that way for you. And again, choose the days so you can see. And again, for coordinator, or for coordinator programming, we have Saturday through Tuesday of the meeting. We don't have anything scheduled for Wednesday, Thursday. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, you're going to find coordinator programming. So I'll put the chat here in the meeting, or put the link in the chat here in a second.
Okay, another thing that we're working on, and we have planned time, is a gathering for lunch on, I believe it's Monday, and this will be for all coordinators. This is one way that we can have some social networking time, and we may be able to add in a scavenger hunt around Seattle. There's different scavenger hunt companies. We looked into escape rooms. Those you have to sign up for, and they're different times, and there's a lot of different options. And that might be something that folks want to just schedule on their own in the evenings. But we are working on planning a social gathering lunch for everyone on Monday. I had originally mentioned possibly having a social gathering on Friday night when folks arrive. However, I know that some people may not arrive until late Friday. So we just need to know if you guys are interested in having an impromptu gathering on Friday, if we should schedule something. It's certainly not required. It would just be a fun way to get together and catch up with each other before the meeting starts. But if you can't make it to that, if we do end up having that, we will have a time on Monday that's dedicated for catching up and networking with one another. So. Okay, any other comments or questions about the meeting? Programming?
So Chris, Laura and I put both links for the Facebook groups. There's one for the clerkship and then
Thank you. I was just about to go there.
Yep.
For the clerkship one. Okay, we're going to, if Mark or Cassandra are willing to just give a quick highlight about the communications work group. We met yesterday, and Mark and Cassandra have some awesome ideas on ways to improve communications. We're just getting started on that. So bear with us, but they have some awesome ways and ideas that we think will really improve communications with our group. So I'm going to let Mark and or Cassandra speak for a few minutes on communications, if you guys are willing.
Okay.
Thanks, Mark.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. So yeah, we met and we discussed the communications work group. This is, as far as I know, this is a pretty new group that they just started like within a year. And I know, we're all pretty busy. So finding time to get everything sorted out. Oh, someone's asking if you could stop sharing the screen. Okay. All right. So basically the target audience of this group is for the AAN to reach out to all of the coordinators. We took a look at the AAN website and we came up with a few ideas, Cassandra and I, about what we could do to improve it, to improve communication, to improve engagement with all coordinators. We found that the coordinator on the AAN website, it's like very hard to find the coordinator resources. So we had suggested that maybe we could put the resources more on the forefront of the website, maybe have a link for it. I mean, we combed through the website just to see, what we could improve, just to make it easier for coordinators to reach out to each other and network. Another suggestion was that we form a directory. We also Cassandra created a Google form as well. So we wanted to ask if Lucy could send that out as well. It's basically a survey. We're trying to collect baseline data from all of the coordinators just to pretty much gather who everyone is, where they're from. I'll see if I can share my screen just to go over the form as well.
And it's a really quick survey. My name is Cassandra from MUSC in South Carolina, and I have been working with Mark and Lucy and Chris on a communications work committee. And it's just a quick survey because I know when I first started in neurology as a coordinator, one of my main issues was getting the information that I needed, the resources, and trying to figure out where and who I could contact for like standard information, like who are we? You know, who's my neighbor in Duke? I know it's Chris now, didn't know it before. So, so the survey that we're sending out is going to be a couple of simple questions. Nothing that's going to take more than about 5 or 10 minutes, but this is again going to give us a baseline to how we can better communicate and become a stronger network with coordinators.
Okay, I don't have privileges to share the screen, but I will put the link in the chat. That'll probably be a lot easier. I see we have a lot of people on the meeting today. So I'll just paste it in the chat for everyone. What better time than now?
Yeah, true. And the way we have the form set up, when you go in and look at it, if you do not want to enter in your contact information, you don't have to, but it would be very helpful and beneficial to all of us if we at least have like the preferred means of communication, because once we're up and running, working with the AAN and also other coordinators, we want to put a lot of information out there that it definitely would be beneficial. Like when the ACGME updated the neurology milestones, that's something that would have been very beneficial for all of us to be, you know, in the know about. But I heard it from a friend who heard it from a friend who heard it from a friend, and we don't need that to happen. I mean, we are our best resources.
We looked over the ACGME website as well. So I don't know if everyone is, you know, knew this, but you can do like a program search on the ACGME website just to see like all of the accredited programs under neurology, which we did. We were thinking of even using that as a starting point and, you know, kind of bounce off of that. The program directors are listed, the coordinators are not listed on the ACGME program search. So, you know, we just want to gather as much baseline data as we can, just so the coordinators have that resource at the ready and they can find it easily on the AAN website. We also found that one of the links was broken.
Yeah.
So it's basically a link on the AAN website. Oh, the survey's locked.
Okay, I'm unlocking it now.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we shared it between each other just to, you know, look it over. It looks really good. I didn't have to change a thing.
Well, thank you.
So there's also a link on the coordinator resources to sign up for the newsletter. It's not working. So it's a broken link. So that needs to be corrected. What else did we talk about? So we also wanted to look into a way for other coordinators to sign up for the AAN. Maybe have a list of them, and then, you know, just have a way for coordinators to easily sign up for these interest groups on the AAN website as well. Most communication, well, what we discovered yesterday is most communication should come from the AAN directly. So it would likely be like via email, and it would be official communication. So, you know, we're just looking into improving the AAN website with new coordinator resources. Another thing that came up, we were looking at the roles on the AAN website. I don't think it necessarily says coordinator. It's broken up like program director and then, you know, resident. And then, you know, there's business admin and everybody's kind of grouped in there. I wasn't sure exactly if they were all coordinators or, you know, some other roles, possibly like administrators or things like that. So we were looking into seeing if we could have like another link added just for coordinators or people, you know, within our role. That way, you know, when the meetings come up, we can get a list of all of our members and know, what role they hold within their organizations and with the AAN. For the national meeting, we also wanted to make a suggestion that we could possibly invite representation from, some of the, from the ACGME, the ABPN, possibly the AAMC, the ECFMG. I think they said someone was supposed to be there from the ECFMG to talk about visas.
We're working on that.
They're working on it.
Hoping to set that up. Yeah.
And if they can't make the trip, maybe even just have like a virtual meeting, we could put them up on Zoom and maybe just have like some questions, possibly some representation from TAGME, the NRMP, and the San Francisco match. Especially if we're going to be talking about virtual recruiting, maybe we could have some of their input. And we wanted to see if we could have the itinerary displayed as well. So just a few thoughts. Let me go through my list to make sure I didn't miss.
We would love to have others to join this work group because, as you can tell, there's a lot of stuff that we kind of sort of feel the need to address and improve on. So anybody that's willing and anybody that's interested, please email me at tuckerc@musc.edu or Mark, and Mark will provide his email address in the chat. But yeah, we would love to have you guys. Thank you.
So Chris, if I could just step in here for a second.
Yes, please do. And then we want to move on to the right after Lucy finishes.
Yeah, we do appreciate the work Mark and Cassandra have done definitely for this here. So, but if I could ask, just as far as the Google form, maybe if we could pause on that for a second, as far as getting responses to that. As Chris mentioned, I am a bit short-staffed here and I'm trying to hire for this, my entire team. I definitely want to make sure that you have a staff liaison that's dedicated to this group. And so just to, as far as the Google form, we would handle that from the Academy side and make sure that it's, has the information that's needed on there. Again, the questions on here are great. I think we can just, if we're looking to create a directory, it's not an option to provide your information because it's the resource is only going to be used by you. And so we want to make sure that those are required questions to capture your information because this is the only way we're going to know who you are. So we definitely want to just look at the questions to make sure that they are formatted and collecting the information that we need. Again, I think it's what you have here is a good starting point, but we just want to make sure from the Academy side of things that we're collecting the information. We are onboarding a new CRM, which is a customer relations management software. We're having meetings with those now, actually. So I want to make sure that when we're asking you for this information, we're asking you for it multiple times so that we can then import it into our CRM and have it, brought over that way. And so it's not multiple, again, asking you for the same information again. So if we could just pause on that first for probably until after the annual meeting to collect this information, I think that would be helpful from many standpoints.
Okay, we'll do. We'll lock the form as of right now, and the information that we've already collected, I'll just put a hold on it and look forward to the information being, I guess, collected after the annual meeting. Thank you.
Yep, no problem.
Thanks, Lucy, Cassandra, and Mark. They have some, as you can tell, they have some great ideas. So we want to spend the last 10 minutes talking about having a little debrief session on the right. So I'm going to let Laura take it away and just lead this session. We wanted people to be able to share their experiences.
Morning, everyone. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the right. We all made it through. Yay. I know that it was a little bit stressful for a few days, but we made it. I really just want to say thank you to everyone who was helpful on the Facebook group. I know with a couple issues I had, I went to the Facebook group to see if anybody else was sharing my experiences. So it actually helped and probably helped cut down the correspondence with the AAN just because we were able to see what each other was going through and knowing that we weren't the only one going through it. I did find out that scores are going to be available in mid-April. So that's good to know. We should have those shortly. And I went through the Facebook group just kind of gathering some of the information of what seemed to be the major issues with the exam. The first thing, I feel like it was just communication wise. I think some people were experiencing the same things, and everyone was contacting the AAN individually. And I think if there was a little bit more communication brought out to everybody who was having the same similar issues, it may have caused less stress. So I have that. And then just a couple minor things, like there were some video issues. It doesn't seem like it was with every single resident or house officer. I think it was more singular. I had like 27 residents taken. I think only 3 of mine had video issues. I think some disconnection issues, and then maybe some exam status incorrect. They were showing green lights or red lights or green checks when they had taken it, hadn't taken it. It did seem that by the end of the exam week that things were straightened out a little bit. But if there's any other things that anybody has any suggestions on, I'm more than happy to bring those things back to Lynn, so that we're not all bombarding her with the same things.
I have a question. During the exam, I have dual monitor, so I had the screen open on one side to proctor, but it would always make me like log in again. And maybe after the 3rd login, it would kick me completely out and make me create another password. Did anybody else experience that problem? It might just be our firewalls, but that happened several times.
Cassandra, yeah, I had that happen too.
I had that happen too.
Okay.
I have some feedback. I think I'm not sure if the issues with Surpass, but I think it would be helpful if coordinators were able to see where the resident was in the exam. Kind of just even if as a reassurance that they are progressing. When they pause, we see where it's paused at. I think it would be just helpful in kind of being able to monitor the exams. I'm not sure, I mean, similar to how like the NBME exams, shelf exams are, you could kind of see the progress of where the students are, how much time they have left remaining. So I don't know if that's something that could be added on the Surpass platform.
Yeah, that is a great idea, because I think now we literally just see if they're on or if they're not, and I think you can just pause and that's pretty much it. So agreed. Okay.
I told them that I could see it anyway.
Yeah. I think that would be great too, only because if you're working remotely, all you see, like you said, is that the exam is in progress. And from home, you want to be able to have a better sense of where they are, because I kept logging back in to make sure the test was still going on, or even at the end, to make sure that the test was completed. So it was a bunch of text messages between me and the individual residents just to make sure everybody was, like you said, progressing the way they should. So the time check would have been great to see where they were.
Yeah, and I know the start time just remained the same for everybody throughout the whole exam. It didn't let you know what time they started or ended or so forth. Yeah.
If I could just add one thing, I just want to shout out to all of us, because we did an amazing job taking care of each other and lending support and just being there for each other, because although it was the residence exam, we are in the thick of it from beginning to end. And for 5 days, we were the ones that were to go to. So shout out to us for just being able to be an advocate for each other. So.
I just had one suggestion too. If the AAN could maybe, when they find out there's a known issue, just send out something saying there's a known issue, we know what it is, so we don't panic when we see it. I was running to the Facebook group many times And
Mhm.
luckily, you know, sometimes somebody would say they've already experienced it, but if we just didn't have to write and then wait and then write and then wait, and that might actually cut down on them getting so many emails as well.
I have a question. This is in regards to next year. Do they plan on breaking up the testing between 2 weeks instead of just 1 week? It makes it hard for rotations that are inpatient for those residents to test without affecting other schedules.
I am actually not capable of answering that question, but I could find out. Lucy, I'm not sure if you know.
Yeah, the dates for the 23rd exam are 14th to the 18th. So it just seems within the week.
So it'll be the same.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Let's see. I think there's just a couple things here in the chat. They found if they were using Microsoft Edge and Chrome, the Edge was awesome. And they didn't have to refresh and log in every time. And I'm not sure, Lucy, do you know if next year they're going to continue with the internet web-based exam, or if they're going to go back to the software exam that needs to be downloaded into the computers?
I'm not sure. You know, I think that's something we'll need to evaluate based on this year's exam also. So I don't have the answer to that, but definitely you can connect with Lynn.
Okay, well, thank you everybody for this feedback. It's been great. I will follow up and let everybody know.
Okay, we are going to get an email out to our listserv with information about the meeting programming. We will post information on the Facebook pages about the meeting. Please sign up to lead a session, co-lead a session with one of your coworkers or your coordinator friends, so that we can offer those sessions. And if you haven't already registered for the meeting and are able to attend the in-person sessions or remotely in Seattle, that would be awesome. I'm really excited about meeting a lot of you that I have not met already and getting to know each of you. So please reach out to Laura or me if you have any questions, concerns, suggestions, etc. Thank you, Mark and Cassandra, for your incredible work on all the communication ideas. And Lucy, thank you as always.
All right.
And
Thanks,
for straightening
everybody.
us out on this whole virtual versus in-person / remote programming.
Before we go, I did have a quick question in the chat. Maybe it's a quick yes or no, but would it be, I don't know if there's any room in the agenda for the national meeting, but could we possibly have like a coordinator town hall maybe?
Probably so.
We'll
We
have
can
to look at
figure
the
that
schedule,
out.
Mark. Yeah, we'll have to
Yeah, we'll look at the schedule.
All right. Well,
Oh,
thanks, everybody.
Hold on just a second. Barbara needs to get added to the listserv. Yes, Barbara, can you put your email in the chat?
So if anybody wants to be added to the listserv or to the group, why don't you send me an email and I can make sure that you're added.
Great idea. Let me just double check.
Thank you, everyone. Good luck, Lucy, with building out your team.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Take care. We'll see ya.